Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday evening. I hope you're well. I hope the day's treated you well. You've looked after yourself, and whatever it is you've been up to this evening and today, I guess. I hope that has been a good one. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the ticket price increases and what they mean for the season ahead. We were talking about Rayan Cherki. We're talking about a wild oil report surrounding Matt Hummels, the I guess you can say now former Dortmund centre-back, but being offered towards Spurs. We're going to talk about the England game that's obviously finished. It was about 10-15 minutes ago. We're talking about that as well. And just a general chat about some players and so forth. Need to talk about Pierre Højbjerg from that game as well. And yeah, definitely a good little video, bit more interactive, bit more of an engagement from you guys as well, which would be nice. So looking forward to that. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, give us a subscribe. Be very much welcome to join us for the journey. Evening Spurs. Southgate is genuinely useless. Embarrassment. Agreed. Dan says, I pray there's some good news with Spurs after that dross. I don't know if I've got it for you, mate. Evening, Donna. I told McKenny buy one, get one free. He'd never do that. Give over, Donna. Give over. Liam, it was awful. I'm not going to start with the England game just yet. I think everyone probably could do with calming down for 5-10 minutes. So I'm also not going to start with ticket prices because I don't think that's going to calm anyone down. I'm going to start actually with this Matt Hummels report. So Prem Inside put out that Matt Hummels' agent has attempted to contact Spurs over the possibility of the club signing him. And they're looking at a potential 1-year deal. Now, he's a guy that obviously played in the Champions League final that's just been a few weeks ago. And he, for the longest time, has been an amazing defender. I think Spurs potentially have an issue at centre-back. And what I say by that is, I don't think that I think their first choice options, for example, maybe a Calafiori, I don't see them getting. But I also think the reason why we offered a deal to Tosin and Darabio, but he rejected it, was because he was one of our top options. I think now Spurs are starting to go through this list quite quickly. Lloyd Kelly's gone, Calafiori's going to be going, Tosin and Darabio's going. Chalobah's going to cost a decent amount. And it was another report this evening that they said that Chelsea will be selling Chalobah. So you're actually starting to go through this list, and your 5th, 6th, 7th option defenders are actually not cheap, or they're not what they should be for the quality of the player that you're going to be getting. And I think Spurs may look at a deal for Matt Hummels and go, for a year, okay, he's not the most athletic, but for a year, is it a smart decision to take him? Keep Phillips in the squad, or keep a Dorrington in the squad, depending on what the loan situation is there, and then going from there and saying, but next summer we're going to get the centre back we want. Maybe is that the route that they're going to go? I don't really know, but I'm intrigued by that report because I think had it been about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be sitting there being very happy. But because he's 36, I think he's 36. Hang on, let me just double check the Matt Hummels one. Matt Hummels. 35, apologies. He's 35. He will be 36 in December. Very odd. But we'll see on that one. I thought it was an interesting one to sort of start with. Moving a little bit on to Rayan Cherki. So Graham Bailey said that Leon winger Rayan Cherki is prioritising a 15 million, so 15 million pound move to PSG despite long-standing interest from the Premier League. Chelsea, Spurs, and West Ham have watched him closely in recent times, but PSG are close to a deal. To be honest, it's probably the right move for him. Young player going to PSG, where the new system that they have is based around being a young, exciting player. So I think it suits him. I think it suits what he wants. He's going to get paid more money than he would at us or West Ham. It's not the worst deal in the world for him. I never expect him to turn up to Spurs at all, but wouldn't shock me at all, that he ends up there. Evening, Sonia, how are you? It was terrible. I'll be talking about it in a minute. Terrible, Donna. He's a leader for sure. Yeah, Hummels, yeah, for sure. Have you heard the Eze deal most likely won't happen? Nothing really at the moment as to why it wouldn't happen, Have I ever thought of doing sports news as a day job? I haven't. I like talking about Spurs, unfortunately for me sometimes, or talking about England, which is very unfortunate for me. Do you know what? If you're an England fan and a Spurs fan, you really can't win, can you? You try and escape club football and think, oh, well, escape club football. Oh, I'm supporting the creators of football. I'm not going to rant about England just a second, but then you just kind of get let down there as well. So there's that on Cherki as well as Hummels. Ticket prices. Let's talk about this. This is important. So Spurs have increased ticket prices to allow for inflation. So forget that we're the most expensive in Europe. We need to worry about inflation. So they said there's a £6 increase in your Category A tickets. So your Category A tickets, they're like the big boys, right? Category B and C are sort of like your mid-table on and down teams are going up £1. But what I did realize is that obviously we always look at like the worst seats to the best seats. Skip like the boxes and things like that. The most expensive seat now for a Category A team. So Category A, which is ironic, they've now put Newcastle United in Category A. So you've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, and Newcastle United. Not sure how Liverpool aren't categorized in that as well. But the most expensive ticket now is £109. That is extortion. The cheapest in the worst seat is £71. That is ridiculous. With the cost of living crisis there is, £109. That is horrific. Do you know what? I'd rather watch England play than have to deal with £109. It's awful. This day's been around England being so useless at what they're trying to do, and Gareth Southgate being paid for a job that he's clearly not capable of doing. And then that comes out as well. And it's just like, we're no closer to signing any players. You've raised the ticket prices. I'm now watching England play. It's just been one L after another today. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that, but that is just generally awful. England is finished. Well, maybe. Most likely, potentially. Tottenham don't want to pay 60 million. They want to pay 50 to try and throw and skip. The more they stall, the more likely Elisa. Kyrie, mate, if two players have a release clause and both players get a bid on their release clause, you have to say yes. Doesn't matter, Sorry, but I will never pay for a ticket while Enick owns the club. Not for £109, you bloody wouldn't, would you? Southgate out. Oh, I'm coming to England just a second, because yeah. What I watched there, I saw people comparing it to Conte and Mourinho ball. I'm sorry, Conte and Mourinho ball is levels above what we're seeing with Southgate. Levels. What, under Mourinho, I think we were the second or top, or we were second or third in terms of the world of football amount of goals scored with Mourinho, with Kane in that team. Kind of bogus about the new tickets. I've got to save for a plane and hotel plus food plus new ticket prices. Dude, honestly, it's just ridiculous. Plane tickets from America is a good few hundred pounds. Obviously, in dollars, obviously it's a lot more, but it's a good few £100 at least. Hotel, a few £100 easily for a weekend. If you might want to make a trip of it, couple of tickets maybe, 200, 300, 200, £250. It's ridiculous. It adds up. Like you're having to spend crazy money to go watch your team because our owner is bleeding people dry on it. Good that you can obviously still watch the North London derby. Yeah, Kyrie, I'm not disagreeing with you, but your point of saying Palace won't want to sell Eze because Chelsea might get Elise. I'm just proving that it doesn't really matter if the release clause is being activated, but the release clause is quite high. And with release clauses comes things that you need to attain. Obviously, Eze can reject that deal, just as Elise could reject Chelsea, if you get my point. What's your favourite choice of wine? Favourite choice of caviar? I'll give over. 8 years no silent play under Southgate. Oh, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? It really is embarrassing. Um, Maybe it is a tactical decision to rest the players in the group so they can play 100% during the knockouts. I love your positivity, Rec, but no, not a chance. Southgate ball man. If we only could clone Ange and make him England boss. Oh yeah, I know. I'm off to slit my wrist now. Thanks for the info and tickets. No signings and inflation. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm getting a tattoo on my forehead. It's horrific, isn't it? Notice how after every Kane game, everyone hates on Kane. I thought it was a Tottenham thing, but these guys genuinely just hate their top scorer. They don't deserve him. Well, Madsy, look, let me tell you my thoughts and feelings about that game. Now, a lot of you maybe weren't obviously having the BBC on for their commentary, which if you didn't, you did the right thing because Alan Shearer might be one of the worst commentators I've ever heard. He dug Kane out every chance he could, dig him out, saying how he can't do this system. He's dropping too deep, but then slagging him off when he's playing too high on the in terms of playing as a 9. But didn't slag off Declan Rice for making multiple mistakes. Jude Bellingham giving the ball away 7, 8, 9, 10 times. John Stones looking way off the pace. Not John Stones' fault, by the way. Bukayo Saka being wasteful with the ball. Foden, looking great whilst in the centre, maybe not on the wing. He never truly said Southgate needs to be better here. Southgate needs to do that. But what he said was Kane needs to be better. Kane needs to do that. Kane needs to do this. Kane does this. It was like the guy had a weird vendetta. And what it is Kane is close to his goal scoring record and he doesn't want him to take it. It's embarrassing. It's just what Ange said, get the transfer business done early. He must be fuming right now. You thought we'd have at least something progressing. Honestly, Andy, if I spend around £1,000 to watch the North London Derby just for us to lose, I might lose my mind. Dude, I would be losing it as well. England made Højbjerg look world class tonight. Made him look like an absolute rock star. Southgate sucks. Absolutely guilty of watching the BBC. I wish I muted it. Shearer. I lost IQ today because of Shearer. Robidio Mentacle faced ban for suggesting South Korean people all look the same as his Tottenham teammate Heung-Min Son with the FA considering where the charge of midfielder. We'll see. He's fighting Kane coming back to the Prem and fisting his record. He is. He doesn't want that record because that's all, that's all people talk about it with Shearer. No one talks about the fact he's won the Prem before. They talk about his goal scoring record. And he doesn't want to be sort of forgotten into irrelevancy because someone else took his record. There we go. So that's my first thing. The fact that the players like Kane and Foden will get dug out for being poor while Southgate continuously gets a free pass. We have in that starting 11 that played today, in that starting 11, we had treble winning, Premier League winning, Kyle Walker and John Stones at right back and right centre back. We have £100 million centre defensive mid in Declan Rice. We have Trent Alexander-Arnold. Before I talk about where they're playing, just talking about the players themselves. One of the best right backs in the world. Jude Bellingham could be on for a Ballon d'Or if England do well this tournament. Spent 100 million on him from Real Madrid, right? Plays for Real Madrid. We have Phil Foden, who's the best player in the Premier League this season. Harry Kane, who's the best striker in the world. And Bukayo Saka is one of the best right wingers in the world. And we're making Denmark look like prime Brazil. And I heard, Rio Ferdinand, awful pundit. Micah Richards, terrible as well. Talking about how Kane's not doing it. He's not pressing. He's not that, not this, that, and the other. It's funny how his job is to score goals. It's funny that that's his job. He scores goals. And he does it very, very well. His whole game is dropping in and playing balls in behind. It's quite hard to do that when Bellingham gives the ball away 8 to 10 times. It's quite hard to do that when Foden's coming inside. If you really want to be smart about it, you put Rice at the 6, you put Bellingham at the 8, and you put Foden at the 10. You play Gordon or Eze on the wing, and you play Kane in the centre. Bowen came on, looked awful. I thought he got himself injured straight off the bat, to be honest, because he fell over. Because that pitch, by the way, another thing, that pitch was cutting up like mad. But the other thing was Denmark players weren't falling over for it. It's absolutely embarrassing. The fact that Pierre Højbjerg looked better than Declan Rice, it just means Spurs can up that price now. Spurs can go, well, it was 15, now it's 25 because he looked fantastic against England, against two midfielders worth 200 million. Gallagher comes on, we sit back. Rice and Gallagher weren't pressing with the rest of the team. They just sat back. There was about 30 yards of space between the attackers that were pressing and the midfield. We've got a right back playing at left back because we have to, right? And I get that. No, I'm not digging Trippier out for that. Actually, I thought Trippier wasn't that bad today, to be honest. Thought Mark Guay was good. The Mark Guay mistake that he made was on Rice giving a crap back pass to him, but I thought Guay looked good. The fact is, if you've got a player playing at left back who's a right back, maybe let's not put the guy who plays right wing / centre attacking mid out on the left wing and a right back at centre mid. Maybe, just hear me out on this crazy idea, play players in their positions. I don't know if that's like a crazy idea. Don't play Gallagher. Clearly wasn't good enough today. Why not Kobe Mainoo? Why not Adam Wharton? Well, they're young. We don't want to. Sorry, Adam Wharton came from the Championship and then bossed the Premier League. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I'm getting tired of seeing Gallagher come on. Southgate must know something about him. We don't. No, it's what he knows about Southgate. He must be blackmailing him. Bloody Nuno Espirito Santo made Kane look better than Southgate. Awful. If the Dutch had Kane, we would be Euro champions. Yeah, you would be. Because do you know what? Ironically, Koeman can actually coach. Southgate can't. It's just ridiculous. And what I don't get is, how the hell does Cole Palmer not get 1 minute of football? Can someone, for the love of God, explain that to me? That Cole Palmer can't get a minute of football. You know, Cole Palmer, who had, the most goals or assists this season or something stupid in the Premier League. A guy who genuinely, in my genuine opinion, carried Chelsea this season to 6th in his first full season as a starter. My God, Jared Bowen's coming on and he's a mid-table winger. And that's not a dig before someone goes, well, West Ham won a European trophy. I'm just saying how they finished this season. At least Chelsea were on the up and up. How does Palmer not start ahead of Jared Bowen? I really don't get. How Bellingham got to stay on for 90 minutes, I really do not get. Bellingham was one of the worst players on the pitch. So they got rid of Kane off they subbed Kane because they thought not good enough. They subbed Foden because they thought not good enough. And then they subbed Saka, who was at least, was a little bit wasteful, but was doing something. But then kept Bellingham on. Because Bellingham's the darling's media boy, isn't it? That's what it really is. How is Bowen ahead of Palmer in the tracking order? Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. He's a rent boy. That's why Gallagher. My Chelsea mate messaged and asked why Palmer wasn't on. Sonia, I wish I could have given you some info as to why he wasn't on, because Palmer is good enough to play at least 1 minute. I've played as many minutes at the Euros as Cole Palmer. Palmer should have come on for Foden easily. That's what I mean, mate. But the thing is, this all comes down to a guy who can't coach. He's at most a championship level manager. I think actually probably League One or League Two. He's not good enough. I talked about Roberto Martinez going from the Belgian national team through their golden era to now Portugal. We've had the same guy for 8 years through another golden generation. I'm sorry, I don't care if he was to win this tournament. He needs gone. That's it. Finish. Gone. Why is it we score a goal and then go, right, now we need to drop 15 yards? They even showed the average positions before we scored and then after we scored. Before we scored, we were 15 yards further up the pitch. But of course, that's Harry Kane's fault because he scored. That's actually Harry Kane's fault, according to Ferdinand, Shearer, Micah Richards, idiots. You've got what was I saying? You've got sorry. You can't tell me Grealish, Rashford, or Maddison would have been better than Bowen. Ericsson was even winning 50-50 balls. England, a bunch of individuals, not a team. We have a striker that scored over 30 goals this season and can't get the best out of him after 8 years. Lineker is apparently digging out Kane a lot. They all were. They absolutely all were. They were digging out Kane because he's the easy target, because he's a guy that doesn't bite back. They're all just absolute morons. They all are. They really are. They asked Kane, can you play as a number 9? So on the last line of defense, he didn't give him service. He then dropped in and they went, why are you doing that? It's like, because he doesn't play as a number 9. He drops in a lot. You know what I mean? It's just painful. It's actually painful how bad Southgate truly is at his job. If you or I were as bad at our jobs as he is at England, we'd have been sacked ages ago. He gets extensions, pay rises, and offers to stay for more time. If he stays after this tournament, I'm done with England. I am just truly done. So done. Because he genuinely is the worst manager I've ever seen. But look at his win ratio. Look at his win ratio when it matters. It's awful. Ugh. Anyway, I still hear you sniffling. Yeah, I'm still unwell. My moment from inside Spurs, inside England. Give me the job. I'd at least play players in their actual positions. You know, I give myself that. I need to say this for the sake of the streak. I have a big Brennan Johnson's problem. I'll let you off for today, mate. I will rest after today's stream. Don't worry. Count to 10, Andy. Yeah, exactly. I'll have some summer fruit squash. That would chill me out. That would chill me out a little bit, eh? But hey, do you know what? It's a game of football, isn't it? We'll be all right. We'll survive. We'll get past this. And the quicker this tournament's over, the quicker that I don't have to see Gareth Southgate's face ever again, which will be lovely. He cares a little bit too much about waistcoats and fashion. That his fashion sense is awful, but he cares too much about that he actually does coaching the boys. Oh yeah, no, I'll be relaxing after the stream, Donna. I'll be relaxing after this stream. I'll be watching the Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was man of the match, by the way. Well, do you know what? The positive about to come out of this is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's value has just gone up an extra few million. So at least that's something. We're going to make more money. He still hasn't learned from Croatia and Italy. 1-0 up and put your feet up. 1-0 up and we play part the bus. At least if Mourinho and Conte did that, we'd have part the bus. We'd have won 1-0. You know what I mean? When will the English learn to play the game? The game that we created, you know? It's hot whiskies you need. I need a lot of things, Eddie, I think. But yeah, very interesting on Matt Hummels, because I want to go back to Spurs now. I'm done with England. It made my nose all running now, speaking of England. It's got me all hot and bothered. On Matt Hummels, I had a theory that, you know, obviously, if Spurs can't get the centre backs that they are truly wanting, you know, when we talk about that list of players that Spurs will have per position, if Matt Hummels is genuinely there and, you know, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth obviously isn't, then that might be the play. And I people will look at it going, Levy's going cheap. Matt Hummels in the Champions League final last year as a starting centre back. He's clearly still good enough, you know? So I don't hate the idea. If I'd rather do that than spend 30 million on a player that Ange likes but isn't truly blown away by. You know what I mean? I'd rather than take that money and get a fullback. You know, maybe you go and get the Vanderson or an Archie Gray, you know? Højbjerg will end up staying because no one can afford him now. Well, as that. Spain versus Italy will be a proper game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Spain-Italy game. Very much so. I can't lie, that Heung-Min would do bits for us. Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he? He has an Arsenal tattoo. I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember talking about him not a while ago. I forgot about that. No, I'm not blown away by the Hummels idea, but what I would say is I'd rather him than us spending 30, 40 million on a player that wasn't near the top of our list that we're not truly in for. That's why I said having him around, having a Phillips in there as well. I could get on board with it, but there has to be a plan for the positions elsewhere, if you know what I mean. If Eriksen dominated the midfield, we know, and yeah, if Eriksen's winning like 50-50s as well, by the way, that's Eriksen was actually taking corners and they were beating the first man. Jared Byrne came on, 2 corners, didn't beat the first man either time. They reckon Hummels and the high line wouldn't work. Well, let's. How about this? Let's do a poll. Yes or no? He's on a free. Yes or no? Hummels. Why do we need centre backs? We got Phillips. Well, with that, I wouldn't want to go into this. I've always had this idea: you bring through the youth when they're ready. Don't throw them in for no reason. And if we had a season of Hummels with Phillips working with him, it could work. He's slower than Eric Dyer. I don't think there's a lot in it, but he's also better than Eric Dyer. I'm actually in favour for it as long as there was a plan in place and we missed out on our targets. Like I said, we missed out on Lloyd Kelly, Tosin Adarabioyo, probably Calafiori, probably Buongiorno. Is that a Bale shirt behind you? It is a Bale shirt. It is a Bale shirt. Southgate would make prime Bale like the Bale that he is now. We also have Vuskovic joining. Yeah, that's what I mean. But like in 2025, we'll be ready to rock and roll. Well, Hummels would allow you a bit more room to maneuver for sure. Look, like I said, he's not someone that's going to blow me away, but in reality, it may not be the worst thing in the world. Is it signed? No, it's not signed. It's a very old shirt. You can even see the 3's a little bit frayed, like here. It's a little bit frayed. It's a very old shirt. We were sponsored by Puma at the time. What's my prediction for Italy versus Spain? Mate, my predictions recently have been terrible. I said dark horses, people like Croatia and stuff like that, but 1-1. I'll go 1-1. Why not? Might as well hang on to Davies. Hummels is 35. Yeah, it's only for a season. And again, Davies being sold is dependent on can we get the money for him, If we can't get Eze, who would our priority be then? Akram, I couldn't tell you, but it'd probably be a number 9 would be my guess. Mr. Andy, what's your favourite cocktail? I don't really have one, to be honest. I like a lot of them, but I don't have one. Rather keep Ben Davies as left centre back. I just think it's time to move on from him, to be honest. In hindsight, should we have got Lloyd Kelly on a free? We went for Tosin and we didn't get him. He rejected us. Don't forget. The worst thing in the world. Let me end that poll. Sorry. The worst thing in the world is Southgate's England with Trent in midfield and Foden on the left. The more I think about it, the more I can't believe that he actually is the manager of England. Any one of us could do a better job. Genuinely. Hummels on a free, yes, sir. What other Spurs podcast do you like? Simon, if I'm honest, I actually don't listen to any of them. And that is there's a genuine reason by that as well. It's not because like I'm the best, you should all listen to me. It's not that attitude. For me, I want to give you my unadulterated, unchanged views on everything. So if I bring you, let's say we talked about Hummels earlier, I wanted to give you my opinion that hadn't been swayed by anyone else. Obviously, you're more than welcome to, go through different people, get their vibe. That's fine. You're more than welcome to, But for me, I don't. And that's not to say they're not good at what they do. I'm not going to comment. I don't know if they are or not. But for me, when it comes to Spurs, I just want to give you my straight up view, straight off the bat, you know, and then I want to have the chats with you guys. I'm building this community for us. You know, we can get Eze. Not getting him is a choice we shouldn't accept. Yeah, you can. We can get Eze. That's the thing. We can. If we don't, that's because we made a choice not to. See you tomorrow, Donna. G'day, good Dragon, mate. How are we? Eze was saying, I don't want to jinx it again, though. Yeah, but technically, if you jinx something, can you technically unjinx it by saying it again? Was that a thing? Or am I being a bit weird about that? That could be a thing. Right, hang on. Just really quickly. Just want to look at the Italy-Spain teams. I'm really looking forward to this. This is the game. Ironically, even with England playing, this is the game that I've been looking forward to. So Spain dropped Nacho. Cucurella still starts ahead of Alex Grimaldo. That is a really interesting decision. Calafiori starts with Bastoni at centre back, so both left footers at centre half. Man, Vicario should be starting for Italy. He's better than Donnarumma. You create a paradox in your favour. I thought so. I got Spin as one of the favourites. Who's Spin? Oh, Spain. Sorry. I'm with you now. So stupid that people believe they can jinx something. Oh, no. Technically, Van Gogh is Rex just put the paradox the other way now. Oh, Rec, you can't do that, mate. Oh, we're trying our best. But yeah, no, really interesting on Hummels. Obviously, ticket price is a bit ridiculous. I did see a report. I hadn't actually put this in the title, but I did see a report that Flamengo were keen on Emerson. They're not going to have the money to pay for Emerson. If we're wanting 20 odd million, where are Flamengo getting 20 odd million from? You know? Do you know what's mad, Callum? Is I would normally cook that comment saying that Barella was sourcing against Albania because I'd be like, it's Albania. You know what I mean? He should do that. But after watching England, I'm like, do you know what? Barella sourced up Albania. Fair play. I'm like, fair play, you know? I'm like, do you know what? He's a baller. But yeah. Rec played the Uno reverse on me. Oh, honestly, dude. You can't trust Rec. He'll come in there and cook you. Just believe that Eze will join Spurs and it will be all right. I hope he does. Hey, Andy, has Emerson Real gone yet? Just blanked out the England game out of my mind. I'm trying to blank the game as well, Darren. I'm trying to as well. No, he hasn't. Obviously, he's very much agreed stuff with Milan, but yeah, no, hasn't progressed in theory. Eze will join, no worries. Good. I'm happy. He will. I got Spain as one of the favourites. Yeah, good shout. My favourite's still the Germans. Home field. You know, watching Musiala, watching Wirtz. They're looking pretty good. And that, do you know what? I'm out of summer fruit squash now. Oh, it's day can't get any worse. Well, do you know what? We'll do one more poll. Just, I'm curious to what you guys think. So my pick is Germany. I'm very much thinking the Germans will do it. But you tell me in that poll who you think will win the Euros. So you got Germany, you got Spain, you got France, and you've got other. So other could be Italy, it could be Holland, it could be Romania with Dragusin. Which if he wins it, I'm claiming that for myself as well. Bloody love the old Romanians because of Dragusin. And hell, they play better football than England. So do Albania. So do Serbia. So do Slovakia, you know. You never watch England games because Southgate football damaged your eyes. Yeah, good, smart decision. I recommend never watch. Don't even watch the highlights. What's your realistic summer window? Good question. Because I change my mind on that all the time, Madsy, because I really just don't know what Spurs have truly got up their sleeve. The more the days go by, the more we don't have any real development and any transfers. I really don't know. And I'm worried we won't shift all the players that we want to shift from the first team squad and we're going to be stuck with them again, or they go out on a rubbish loan deal. Germany a bit ropey with the high line. Can see France pace exploiting the high line. France won't be able to get the ball off Germany because France don't play very good football. France play a bit like England. They don't play nice football. I think Germany would knock it around them for fun. I think Holland would probably give France issues, and so would I could so see Italy giving France issues. Obviously, France are prohibitive favourites, but there's something about Germany at home with players like Wirtz and Musiala. Gundogan looks incredible again. Like Tony Cruz. Tony Cruz should not be retiring from football. Tony Cruz has easily got 2 or 3 more years in him. He's ridiculous how good he is. Netherlands, France, or Germany, shout. Spurs will start when the Euros is over. Yeah, I know, right? They'll go, right, now we're getting to action when everyone else has done their work. I purposely avoid watching England game, unironically. You did a great thing there, Van Gogh, mate. Tomorrow's a big test for Koeman, must-win game. Well, yeah. He's got to get at least a draw, at least. He cannot lose that game. What's worse, England under Southgate or Spurs under Conte? Well, the thing is, that season with Conte, before things had fallen apart, injuries-wise, illnesses and deaths and surgeries, we were actually doing quite well. So yeah, I'd take Conte at England over Southgate every day of the week. Germans end their career fairly early for some reason. I'm trying to think of who else did. Oh, Philip Lahm. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I guess Oliver Kahn probably played on a little bit. It's barely to say that France don't play good football because Austria, for me, are one of the best pressing sides in Europe. No. I just think France don't play good football because of Deschamps. It's been something that's been for a long time. They rely on Mbappe. They rely on Ousmane Dembele, Kante to do all the defensive work. Like, that's what I compare it. Do you know what? I compare it to even. I thought Holland played some all right stuff in the first game. Germany obviously playing some lovely football. I thought Italy looked decent against Albania. I'm interested to see how. Do you know what? I'm interested to see how Italy do against France. I don't think. I've just seen a Southgate quote that just is going to rile me up. I'm not even going to bring it to you because it's riled me up even more. He is an idiot. I'll tell you one thing that's quite funny. Pie Face, that guy, the FIFA guy that I quite like, he's scared of flying. So what he did was he travels from Plymouth all the way along to get the boat over to France and then drive through to Germany. So he did all that travel for that. Oh. Deschamps knows how to win tournaments. He does. But what I'm saying is he's a bit like Southgate. He relies on moments of quality. And I think for the while that he's done very well, I think the Germans have been a bit poor. Italy, previous to that 2020 win, Euros win wasn't great. Spain have been poor for a little while now. So I think he came in when everything was good. You know what I mean? England got good, but they got good to a point. You know, they got beat by Croatia. Belgium were falling apart, you know. The French team, Rex said they're stacked. I don't know. I thought France would win this, but after watching Germany, I'm like, no, I'm with the Germans. I'm with the Germans. I think they'll start cooking. Heard that the Tottenham recruit team's holiday, which is true if it's mad. That's mad, and it could be why Chancellor is slow. It's embarrassing if they're on holiday, mate. Which they're allowed. They're allowed holiday, by the way. They're allowed holiday. Not all of them should go. You know, it's like, you know, when you're your company, if things are busy or you're coming up to a busy period, okay. Oh, so and so's taking holiday. I can't grant you your holiday. We need people to be working, Holland will meet Germany in the final and win the final. Yeah, I think Germany will win it. Romania reached quarterfinals. Nah, Romania are winning it. Up the Romania. Come on, the boys. Dragusin hat trick next time out. Can't wait for it, mate. Can't wait for Dragusin hat trick. Right, I'm going to let you all go because it's 15 minutes ahead of the game coming up. Enjoy the 8 o'clock off. I'll be back, obviously, at 12 tomorrow to chat more stuff, more football, some more, hopefully, nicer things to talk about tomorrow. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Very much glad you can all join me from here, then there, and everywhere. Very much appreciate the support. I'll be back tomorrow at 12, like I said, and I'll see you all then. Anyway, guys, enjoy your evening. Enjoy the football. I'll speak to you soon. Take care, everyone.